Hello friends, welcome to Streaming Data Collection demo. Before going any further, let's understand the problem statement first. So you work for a company who has thousands of users interacting with the company's application. You have been asked with capturing real-time data about the users for a marketing campaign, and what you need to capture is information like the person name, their age, their gender, and the location of the users who are all 21 and older. So just imagine that is marketing campaign is going to try to get more users to use the application or possibly purchase a certain product. So you are probably wondering, well, where am I going to get this user data? Well, I would like for you to use the randomuser.me API that allows you to call the API and generate random user data. So you can see in the screenshot, this is the results that get returned whenever you call the API. Now I'll provide a link to this API in the resource section. So you can use it throughout this lab. But what you will do is call this API, you will get information about a user back, and then you can use that within this lab. So when you make a call to this API, you will get things like their name, their gender, their location, and other information about this dummy user data. Now the final results for this lab is we are looking for a JSON files that are stored into S3, and the only information that we want to capture is the person's first name, their last name, their age, gender, latitude, longitude, and remember, we only want to capture information for users that are 21 and older. So for example, a snippet of the final JSON might look like something like this, and when you are ingesting the data, let it run maybe about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. So you will have a plenty of records to work with. So Python program that simulates streaming data. Now you can use Python, Java or Node.js or C# or any kind of SDK libraries that AWS offers. You can then use that program to call the randomuser.me API, and then the results are returned. You can then use that as a data blob on the put records call and sends that data to Kinesis stream for ingestion. So what might this simple Python program looks like? Well, here is a code snippet that I'll put together that can help you, and I'll go ahead and attach this to the resource section of this lab. Now, you may not be familiar with Python code, but you could always use Node.js or any kind of other SDKs that AWS offers. But if you are a machine learning specialist or a data scientist, then this code should look pretty familiar. I'll quickly go over what's actually going on. So first we import all of the libraries that we are going to use in this code snippet. Next, we will create a variable called client that is derived from the Boto3 library, which is AWS Python library that allows you to communicate with AWS resources. So the resources that we are gonna communicate with is Kinesis, and we would go ahead and specify the region name that we are working in. Now we will go over the partition key here in just a little while, but next I would create an infinite loop that continuously calls the randomuser.me API, and the data that's returned from the API call, we can just use that inside the putRecord method. Now when we call the client.putRecord, we need to make sure we insert our stream name, the data that's returned from the randomuser.me API, and a partition key, and we created a partition key at the beginning of the program, and it's just a random GUID. And after we put that record on a Kinesis stream, we will call time.sleep, which just halts the program for around 1 second and continuously calls the put record to add that data to our Kinesis stream. So essentially this program just simulates streaming user data onto our Kinesis. Now of course, you can run this code locally on your machine, but you will have to make sure that you have the Python library installed like Boto3, JSON, requests, and the other libraries that we are using with this script. You will also have to make sure that this program has access to your Kinesis stream by setting up a user that has programmatic access through IAM. Now once you have successfully created your stream and you have data streaming onto it, next you need to find a way to transform that streaming data and output the result onto S3. And remember, our final results are going to be JSON files that are stored into S3, and we need to have the following information, and it will look like something like this for our final result. What I have done for you is created a simulated data producer, and what we will use is CloudFormation to create a simple EC2 instance that automatically starts streaming data into our Kinesis stream. So all we have to do is insert our stream name here. We don't have to worry about writing Python code. Once we have created our data producer, then we will connect it to our Kinesis data stream and start ingesting random user data into our stream. After that, we will use Kinesis Analytics to run queries on that data and transform it to a subset of that information. So all we do is create a query that just returns their name, their age, their location for all the users 21 and older. Once we are satisfied with the transform data, we will connect it to a Kinesis Data Firehouse, which is our delivery system, and we will output the results onto S3. Now, before the data lands onto S3, we will use Lambda to do a final transformation that puts the data in the proper JSON format. Essentially, we will add a new line character to the end of each record. One great thing about this approach is it shows how all of the Kinesis family services are interconnected and can work together to create a completely streaming workflow and transform your data and land to get on a data repository. So I will walk you through each one of these steps and I will show you how I approach the problem and how we can get that transformed data onto S3. So if you are ready, let's jump into the AWS console and you can follow along with me and I will show you the ways. Alright, so I am here within the AWS console, and the first thing I want to note is make sure that you are in the North Virginia region. That's the US East 1 region. This will make sure that this lab will run as smoothly as possible. Now the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and create a Kinesis stream. Let's navigate to Kinesis by typing in Kinesis in the search bar and then clicking on Kinesis. Once we land on the Kinesis page, we can see some different applications that Kinesis allows us to build. So they give a few examples on how you can use Kinesis. So we will go ahead and click Get Started, and it allows us to create a few different Kinesis resources. So we have talked about all of these services in earlier lectures, and it gives us the ability to create Kinesis streams, a Kinesis Firehouse delivery stream. We can also use Kinesis Analytics to continuously analyze and query our data. And finally, we can create a Kinesis video stream that allows us to build applications around processing streaming media data. Now, in this lab, we want to start off by creating a Kinesis stream that we are going to stream our dummy user data to. So let's go ahead and click on Create Data Stream. At this point, it's pretty easy to set up a Kinesis stream. All we have to do is give it a stream name and the number of shards. So let's go ahead and give it a stream name of my data stream. So just remember, whatever stream name you use, as we will use this later down the road, we will need to use it within our CloudFormation template. Once we have given it a stream name, we can scroll down and start looking at how to set up the number of shards that we need to use. Now, within the console, you can actually estimate the number of shards by using this little tool that AWS offers. It's a little shard calculator. What you can do is type in the average record size. You can type in how many records are gonna be written per second. And then you can add the number of consumer applications that's going to be processing the data. Now, for our streaming user data, it's going to be around 1 kilobyte in size, and the max records written per second is probably around 5 per second. It's going to be much less than that, but we will just say 5 just in case, and the number of consumer applications is just 1. And you can see here that AWS recommends just one shard, so that all we need to use when we are setting up our Kinesis stream. Now you can try out some other numbers to see how many shards you would need for your application if you had either bigger payload sizes or more record per second. So you can see here the number of records written per second. As it increases, so does the number of shards. So we will go ahead and use the one shard of our application, and that's all we have to do. All we have to do is give it a stream name, the number of shards we want to use, and then we are ready to create our Kinesis stream. So once that's complete, go ahead and click create Kinesis stream. Now this may take a few seconds or a minute. So I'll go ahead and pause the video and I'll come back when the stream is created. Alright, so the Kinesis stream has finished creating, and now we are ready to actually start streaming user data into the Kinesis stream. Now I have already taken care of a lot of heavy lifting by creating a CloudFormation template that spins up an EC2 instance and the other resources that allows you to start streaming data directly into Kinesis stream that we just created. Now I have provided the CloudFormation template in the resource section called setupdataproducer.yml file. So if you want to take a look at it and see the steps that I am doing to create the EC2 instance and other resources to communicate with this Kinesis data stream, then go ahead and take a look at it. So let's go ahead and jump over to CloudFormation and use the template that I have provided. In the resource section of this lab, it will automatically start putting records into Kinesis stream that you just created. Now we will need the name of the Kinesis stream. So just remember whatever name you created. So let's go ahead and navigate to the CloudFormation, and we can do that by clicking on services and then typing in CloudFormation. Now this is the new UI for CloudFormation, and I suggest you use it because this will be what AWS uses in the future. From here, let's go ahead and click create stack. And what we want to do is go ahead and upload a template. So select choose file, and the file you will upload is the same file that's in the resource section of this lab. It's called startupdataproducer.yml file. So go ahead and upload that file. Once it's uploaded, go ahead and click next. And then you will have the ability to give a stack name. So just give it whatever stack name you like. I'll call mine data producer stack, and then you will need to type in the same of your Kinesis data stream that we just created. So in my case, I'll use my data stream, which is the name of the Kinesis stream we just created. Go ahead and click next. We will leave the options as default and click next. And finally, we will need to give a CloudFormation access to create an IAM role that allows it to communicate with Kinesis stream. Go ahead and check the checkbox that says you acknowledge this and click create. Now, once this is complete, CloudFormation is going to create all of the resources and automatically start putting that random user data into Kinesis stream. Now, the reason that this works is because I have already included that Python script that I showed at the beginning of this lab within the CloudFormation template. So when the resources are spun up, it begins to load data in your Kinesis stream by calling the client.putRecord API command and loading user data into stream. Go ahead and take a look at the CloudFormation template that we just uploaded if you want to see the inner working. So this may take a few minutes, so I'll pause the video and come back when it's complete. Alright, so the CloudFormation stack is completed and we should be getting records in our Kinesis stream. So let's go ahead and navigate back to Kinesis stream and see if we can use the monitor tab to see the records within our Kinesis stream. So go ahead and click on services and then navigate back to Kinesis. Alright, so once we are in Kinesis dashboard, let's go ahead and click on the stream that we created. And from here, we can go ahead and click on the monitor tab. So from the monitoring tab, we can see applications that are calling the get records, and we can see data producers that are calling the put records. So from here, we can see where we are actually getting data from calling the put records API call. So wow, this is great we are actually getting data into our Kinesis. This is fantastic. Now, if you don't see any data in these graphs at first, well, you may just need to wait a little bit longer because it does monitoring every 1 minute. So maybe give it 2 or 3 minutes and then check back again. So our CloudFormation template worked and we are already streaming dummy user data into our Kinesis stream. Now, if you are still having issues and you just can't figure out what's going on, then I suggest deleting your CloudFormation stack and recreating it. And just make sure that the region that you are currently in is the same in both CloudFormation and in the Kinesis stream. And you can always navigate to CloudWatch and see what the logs are and possibly find what the error is. Now that we have data being ingested by our Kinesis stream, let's go ahead and create a Kinesis Analytics application where we can run real-time queries to query out a subset of our data, right? All we need is the first name, last name, age, gender, latitude, and longitude. Let's go ahead and navigate back to the dashboard of Kinesis and we will go ahead and create analytics application. All we have to do is give it a name, a description, and pick up whichever runtime. Now we can use SQL or Apache Flink, but we will just go ahead and use SQL for our application. Once that's complete, go ahead and click create application. Once our application is created, we need to hook in a data source where our streaming data is coming from. And in your case, it's gonna be our Kinesis stream. So we'll go ahead and click on the connect streaming data. Then we have a choice of selecting a Kinesis stream or a Kinesis Firehouse delivery stream. Now, since we already created a Kinesis stream, let's go ahead and leave it selected and use the drop down to select our Kinesis stream that we have already created. And this is the stream that's streaming the user data. Now, once we scroll down, we have a couple of more options. We can actually pre-process the records that are being loaded onto Kinesis Analytics before we run queries on them. So, for example, we could create a Lambda function that pre-processes the records used in this application. Now, we are actually going to use Kinesis Analytics to transform and get a subset of our streaming data. So, we'll leave this as disabled. And for the access permission, we'll go ahead and leave it as default. It's going to create or update an IAM role for us. Now, the next part of Kinesis Analytics is really cool because you can actually start seeing your data. So if we click on Discover Schema, what it does is it tries to create a schema from the streaming data. So we'll go ahead and click on Discover Schema. What this does make it visible to where we can actually start seeing our streaming data. So if we scroll over, we can see the information that we need to start collecting, like first name, last name, etc. etc. We can also see the row format, how Kinesis stream is ingesting the data. Now, if everything looks good, we will go ahead and scroll down and click Save and Continue. Now we want to go ahead and start running real-time analytics or SQL queries on our streaming data. So let's go ahead and select Go to SQL Editor. From here, it asks us if we want to go ahead and start running our data transformation application. Let's go ahead and select Yes, Start Application. And at this point, we have the ability to start running real-time analytics on our streaming data. Now, writing real-time queries in Kinesis Analytics can be kind of difficult. So I'll go ahead and write out the query that we will need to transform and get a subset of the data that we are streaming. Now, don't worry, I'll provide the query that I am currently writing in the resources section of this lab. So what you can do is just copy and paste it. So no worries. So let's go ahead and start writing out the query that we will use to grab a subset of our data. So what we will first do is create a stream called destination underscore user data. And this will be where the subset of our data is going to live after we stream it. So we will go ahead and set up the schema for it. And we will need to capture it first, last, age, gender, latitude, longitude. So after that, what we will do is create a pump that streams our current stream of data into new destination underscore user underscore data stream, and the query that we want to pump into our destination underscore user underscore data stream is the following. What we are going to do is select the stream, and we are going to select the first, last, age, gender, the latitude and the longitude from the current stream that we are getting from our Kinesis stream. And I'll go ahead and paste that in here. And finally, we are going to select from our stream where age is greater than or equal to 21. So what is SQL query does is it create a new destination underscore user underscore data stream and then pumps the data from our current stream where age is greater than 21, and the fields that is selects our first, last, age, gender, latitude and longitude. I'll go ahead and post this query in the resource section of this lab. You can just copy and paste it. You don't even have to change any of the values. Once we have written our query and created our new destination stream, we will go ahead and select save and run SQL. Now, this will take some time, but when it's complete, you will actually start seeing the results of the real-time analytics that we are running on the data. So once it's complete, you can actually see that we are only getting a subset of our data, right? We are only getting the first name, the last name, the age, the gender, and the latitude and longitude. And I like to go ahead and select the scroll to bottom when new result arrive, because it gives us a feel of streaming data as it's coming in. It's actually real cool. Once we have successfully created our in-applications, what we need to do is now point this to a destination. Now we want to store the output onto this S3, but we need to create a Kinesis Firehouse delivery stream to deliver that data onto S3. So if we go ahead and click on destination, we can connect it to a Kinesis Firehouse to deliver that data onto S3. So let's go ahead and select connect to a destination. Now we have a couple of options to stream this to. We can either stream it to Kinesis Streams, Kinesis Firehouse or AWS Lambda. Now in our case, we will just go ahead and stream it to Kinesis Firehouse. But since we don't have a Kinesis Firehouse set up yet, let's go ahead and select create new. And this will bring us to the Kinesis Firehouse page where we can create a delivery stream. Now once we are on Kinesis Firehouse, let's go ahead and create a delivery stream name. I'm going to call mine my delivery stream, and we'll scroll down and we can either have the source from Kinesis streams or a direct put or other sources. Now from our case, it's coming from Kinesis Analytics. So we'll just go ahead and leave it as direct put or other sources. Go ahead and click next. At this point, Kinesis Firehouse can transform the records or convert them to a different format before we deliver them to S3. Now we have already transformed or grabbed a subset of our streaming data using Kinesis Analytics, but there is one extra piece that we have to do to ensure that data is in the right format. We need to add a new line to the end of each record, and this is a perfect job for AWS Lambda. At this point, we can go ahead and select enable for record transformation, and we will create a Lambda function that simply adds a new line each record. So go ahead and select enabled, and then we'll click the create new Lambda function. Now there are several different Lambda blueprints that we can choose from in the dialog box, and AWS gives these to us to make our job a little bit easier. We can choose any of these pre-built Lambda functions to help us achieve different goals, but in our case, we will just select General Firehose Processing. Once we have selected this, it will bring us to the Lambda Management Console where we can create a new function. I'll go ahead and name the function add new line function, and for the execution role, we'll go ahead and just select create a new role with basic Lambda permission. From here, it gives us pre-configured Node.js code, and we can always change this to Python or any other programming language if we wanted to. Once we have already created the function, now we are not able to edit it just yet. So go ahead and scroll down and click create function. Now we just created our Lambda function, and we can go ahead and scroll down and add the code that we need to create a new line at the end of each record. Now what happens is, as the data is streamed through Kinesis Firehose, we trigger this Lambda function to add a new line to the end of each one of the records before it's added onto S3. So we'll go ahead and scroll down to where we can edit the code, and don't worry if you are not familiar with Node.js code, as I'll post all of the changes that we are making to this Lambda function in the resource section of this course. You can just look for the file name index.js, but all we're going to do is add just a couple of lines of code, so it should be fairly simple. Now the way that Lambda function work with Kinesis Firehose is the data is encoded in base64. So what we'll have to do is encode the new line into base64 and then append it or concatenate it onto the end of the record. So I'll go ahead and create a variable called buff, and we'll create a new buffer with a new line character. Then all we are going to do is create another variable called base64 data, which is the new line, and we are going to encode that buff into base64. After that, we can concatenate that base64 encoded new line onto the end of our data by just adding a plus sign at the end of the record day and concatenating it with the base64 data variable. So just like that. Now once that's complete, go ahead and select save. Now when this Lambda function is called, it's going to encode the new line variable and then just add onto the end of our record. Now one last suggestion that Kinesis makes is go ahead and increase the timeout time for this Lambda function 1 minute. This is just a precaution as it may take longer than a few seconds to execute this Lambda function. Go ahead and make those changes and click save. After that, we should be able to jump back over to our creation of our Kinesis Firehose. So I'll jump back over to that tab, and if we refresh, we can see the new Lambda function that we just created. Here it is right here. We'll go ahead and select that function, and we'll go ahead and leave the Lambda function version as the latest. Now the last little option that Firehose gives you is to convert the record format. Now what Firehose allows you to do is transform JSON data into Apache Parquet or Apache ORC. Now we also have to include a step with AWS Glue, but in our case, we just want to leave our records in the JSON format. So we'll go ahead and leave this as disabled and click next. From here, it gives us the option to select our destination. And as we mentioned earlier, we can land our data on Amazon S3, Redshift, Amazon Elasticsearch or Splunk. But in our case, we just want to land our data into Amazon S3. So we'll leave it selected. Finally, we need to choose the destination bucket. And since we have not created one, let's go ahead and select create new. We'll go ahead and give it a bucket name. I'm going to call mine my user data output bucket and go ahead and click create S3 bucket. After that, we can specify prefix, but we'll leave everything as default and go ahead and click on next. At this point, the delivery stream wants to know, okay, how often do you want to deliver data onto S3? Now it can be delivered every buffer size or it can be delivered every buffer interval. So by default, it's going to deliver when it hits 5 megabytes in the stream or every 300 seconds. Now since we want this to deliver as fast as we can, so we can start seeing results. Let's go ahead and set it to the minimum. So we'll set the buffer size to 1 and the buffer interval to 60 seconds. So as data comes in through the stream and processed through Kinesis Analytics, it will land in Kinesis Firehose and either get delivered to S3 every 60 seconds or when 1 megabyte worth of data gets congregated into Firehose. But in our case, we don't have a whole lot of data, so it's going to be every 60 seconds. Now as we scroll down, we can also select any compression or encryption, but we'll leave it all as default. We need to give Firehose access to the S3 bucket, so let's go ahead and create a new role. We will leave everything as default and click allow. After that, let's go ahead and click next. And finally, let's review everything about our Kinesis Firehose delivery stream. We'll scroll down and select create delivery stream. So after that, let's go ahead and jump back to Kinesis Analytics. And from here, you can see that we are able to select the Kinesis Firehose delivery stream we just created, and we will go ahead and select it. Now, it needs to know what applications did we create in our Kinesis Analytics to stream the subset of data to. Now remember, we created the application stream called destination user data in our SQL query. So we'll go ahead and select it, and we can actually select the output format here as JSON or CSV, but we will leave it as JSON. Next, we need to make sure that the access permission as create update IAM role, and then we'll select save and continue. So we are good to go. Alright, now this is gonna take a few minutes, so I'll give it some time and come back when it's finished. So at this point, we have finished creating our Kinesis Analytics query that transforms or gets a subset of our data, and then we set up a destination for Kinesis Firehose to output that data into S3. So if everything is working as expected, we should see our transformed or a subset of our data being loaded onto S3. So let's go ahead and navigate into S3 and see if we can start seeing our data. Alright, so once we are in S3, let's go ahead and select the bucket that we created. And we can start to see that we are already have records being inserted into our bucket. So this is awesome. Now, if you are not seeing any data, then that's alright. Just give it a few minutes, maybe 5 to 6 minutes, and refresh your S3 bucket. Let's go ahead and drill down into these folders, and we'll keep clicking, and finally, we see a file that was uploaded onto S3 bucket. And if we select that file and click download, we can start to see that the content of that file. And once I have the file downloaded, I'll go ahead and open it. And you can start to see the transformed data in JSON format that has landed onto S3. Wow, this is awesome. It's exactly what we wanted. So now, we have successfully streamed our data into Kinesis. We have queried and transformed it with Kinesis Analytics. We then set up a destination as a Kinesis Firehose to output that data onto S3. So if we refresh, we can actually see more data being loaded into S3, which is exactly what we want. As the streaming data comes in, we transform it and then load it into S3. This is actually really cool. Go ahead and let the flow of Kinesis continue to put records onto your S3 bucket. Let it run for about 10 minutes, and then we'll go ahead and proceed. I just wanted to make sure that everyone has enough data within their S3 bucket that we can manipulate in later lab. Now, this is the end of the lab, and I want you to go ahead and delete all of the resources that we created. We'll go ahead and navigate to Kinesis, and we are going to start in reverse and delete our Kinesis Firehose. So let's go ahead and click on our Kinesis Firehose stream. We'll select the delete delivery stream and we'll delete it. Alright, we'll go ahead to the Kinesis dashboard, and we'll go ahead and scroll down and we'll select view all. In the Kinesis Analytics application, we'll go ahead and select our application that we created and click actions, delete application. We'll go ahead and navigate back to the Kinesis dashboard, click view all for our Kinesis data streams. We'll go ahead and select our Kinesis data stream that we created, use the action drop down and delete the data stream. Once all of that is done, let's go ahead and navigate to the CloudFormation, and it will delete the resources that we created to stream our data into Kinesis. So we'll go ahead and navigate to CloudFormation. We will select our data producer stack that we created, use the action drop down and select delete stack. So from here, we have deleted all of the resources. So you shouldn't have any extra resources hanging around. Now we are going to keep the S3 bucket where we loaded our JSON data about our users, because we are gonna use this in a later lab. So congratulations on completing this lab, and hopefully you have learned something along the way. as we implemented 3 of the Kinesis services out of the Kinesis family. This was actually a real cool lab. Congratulations everyone. In the next upcoming tutorial, we will learn about data preparation using categorical encoding, text feature engineering, numeric feature engineering, handling missing values, feature selection, and some helper tools. Till then, practice on data collection module. Thank you.